Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and often shocking life of Samantha Fox, the 1980s pop sensation, model, and actress. While many remember her for her chart-topping hits and bold modeling career, there's a lot more to her story than meets the eye. From a childhood in the spotlight to a whirlwind rise to fame, and from scandalous controversies to terrifying stalker incidents, Samantha's journey is packed with bizarre and unexpected twists. In this video, we'll uncover 20 bizarre facts about Samantha Fox that you probably didn't know, from her early career and personal struggles to the shocking moments that shaped her life. Stick around because some of these revelations will leave you speechless. 1. Her stalker attempted suicide right outside her home. When we think of Samantha Fox, most of us picture an 80s bombshell with catchy dance-pop hits and a rebellious modeling career. But behind those dazzling stage lights lay some very dark realities of fame, one of the scariest being the time a stalker was so obsessed that he attempted suicide right outside her home. Imagine you're a global superstar receiving tons of fan mail every single day. It's usually exciting to feel that kind of admiration. But what happens when that admiration turns into a frightening obsession? Samantha Fox lived it. A French man became convinced, without a shred of truth, that he was her husband. He wrote letter after letter, threatening that if she didn't accept him, he would end his life. Then, the unimaginable happened, he showed up at her doorstep to follow through on his threat. One day, Samantha stepped outside only to see the horrific scene. A complete stranger lying in a pool of blood, half dead, the same man who had been hounding her for months. Though he was taken away for emergency care, the nightmare haunted Samantha for years to come. In that moment, she realized fame doesn't just bring fortune and praise, it can also bring dangerous, unrelenting pressure and threats to one's sense of security. This traumatic episode left a lasting mark on Samantha's psyche. It put her on constant high alert, always fearing her privacy could be breached. It's a harsh reminder that stalking is not uncommon in the entertainment world, especially when fans cannot separate the fantasy of their idol from reality. For Samantha Fox, who tried to stay strong through it all, this event remained a deep psychological scar that never fully healed. 2. A fan legally changed his name to Sam Fox. Most fans show their devotion by hanging posters, collecting records, or maybe saving up for concert tickets. But a fan so devoted that he legally changed his name to match his idol? That's a unique, yet completely true, story from Samantha Fox's life. Once her fame spread beyond the UK, letters poured in from around the globe. One letter from the US stood out from the rest. It wasn't just fan mail, it included official documents proving he had legally changed his name to Sam Fox to honor her. Picture this, someone sells everything, house, car, personal belongings, just to move closer to their idol. That's exactly what this man did. After leaving his entire life behind in America, he rented a place only a few streets away from Samantha's home in England. His stated purpose? To watch over her every single day. At first, it might sound like a romantic tale of unrequited love, but dig deeper, and it's clear his actions leaned more toward obsession and invasion of privacy. With such a special fan lurking around, Samantha found herself under tremendous psychological strain. She had to hire more security, strengthen her home's defenses, and remain vigilant about unexpected dangers. Could he be a threat? Could he harm her? These questions weighed heavily, fueling both anxiety and fear. While the entertainment industry is no stranger to crazed fans, legally changing your name to become a carbon copy of your idol is extraordinarily rare. This case underscores the thin line between genuine admiration and hazardous obsession. Samantha Fox not only had to handle the glare of media publicity but also bizarre scenarios dropped onto her doorstep. It's a cautionary tale, for both celebrities and the public, about controlling emotions and avoiding extreme fandom that spirals into a dangerous fixation. 3. She had to flee events by helicopter. Mention Samantha Fox and most people imagine a sultry 80s icon with scorching pop tracks. However, few know she sometimes had to flee her own fans by helicopter. At the peak of her fame in the 80s, Samantha was in high demand, touring non-stop, appearing on TV shows, signing autographs, constantly attracting crowds of devoted admirers wherever she went. But there's a razor-thin line between warm welcomes and full-on riots. At certain events, fans would shove, push, even smash windows, all in an attempt to get closer to her. It was like a chaotic stampede, frantic screams, frenzied crowds, and security teams desperately trying to keep order. Things got so extreme that organizers sometimes kept a helicopter on standby for quick getaways. Imagine being at the height of your fame, adored by thousands, yet also fearing for your safety because of the very people who love you. Escaping by helicopter sounds like a scene straight out of an action movie, but for Samantha Fox, it was real life. There were even times when she couldn't make it across the red carpet before fans surged forward, forcing her and her team to rush into a chopper to stay safe. It's a testament to just how powerful Samantha's star power was in the 1980s. Magazines adored her, tabloids sold out with her on the cover, and fans clamored for every glimpse they could get. But the steep cost of fame was the loss of personal freedom. Needing a helicopter to escape wasn't just some glamorous stunt, often, it was the only way to protect her from overly rabid crowds. Indeed, a celebrity's life can seem glittery on the surface, yet behind the scenes are countless you-can't-make-this-up incidents and lurking dangers the public rarely sees. 4. Her mother submitted her lingerie photos for a modeling contest. While many parents do their utmost to shield their kids from the harsh spotlight, Samantha Fox's mother took a completely different approach. When Samantha was just 16, her mom submitted lingerie photos of her to The Sun for a model search. Shocking? Definitely, because at 16, Samantha was technically still a schoolgirl, and lingerie modeling typically involves adults. Yet that daring move catapulted Samantha into the spotlight as she won the contest and became one of the most famous Page 3 girls. Mind you, her meteoric rise began even before she turned 18. Appearing in risque photos for The Sun triggered immediate controversy. On one side, critics said she was too young for provocative modeling. On the other, supporters praised her confident beauty and unique appeal. Whatever people thought, Samantha's name exploded overnight, magazines clamored to feature her, major brands lined up for endorsement deals, and fans were drawn to her fresh yet undeniably alluring look. Within the family, Samantha's mother appeared fully convinced her daughter had the it factor to shine. Today, we can question whether it was driven by ambition or genuine belief in Samantha's talent, but there's no denying that this risky decision laid the groundwork for a monumental career. Those controversial lingerie pictures became the first rung on Samantha's ladder to stardom. She went on to become one of the UK's most iconic Page 3 models, paving the way for her subsequent success in music and entertainment. But beneath the glossy photo shoots, the constant workload and extreme attention robbed Samantha of a typical teenage life. In a sense, she grew up fast. Still, it was this early start that made her resilient, ready to face the ups and downs of fame. Controversies aside, her mother's move remains a pivotal moment that shaped Samantha Fox's journey to becoming an 80s entertainment icon. 5. She dated a notorious con man. Showbiz has its fair share of scandalous love stories, but Samantha Fox's relationship with Peter Foster raised more than a few eyebrows. Foster was infamous, not just locally but worldwide, for fraud and deceit. He faced legal troubles in multiple countries, having scammed people in Britain, the US, and Australia. So how did a rising star like Samantha Fox end up in a romance with a man of such ill repute? That's the million-dollar question. Some say she was charmed by his suave exterior and sweet talk. Others believe Samantha was a romantic at heart, valuing love over reputation or past misdeeds. Whatever the case, the media quickly pounced on every detail of their involvement, splashing headlines like "Beauty and the Con Man" and speculating whether it was love or just a twisted publicity stunt. Peter Foster wasn't just adept at swindling money, he was also skilled in winning over high-profile women. It seems Samantha found herself captivated by his lavish gestures and wild promises. But as with many fairy tales laced with red flags, reality soon came crashing down. Rumors flew that Foster used Samantha's star power to advance shady business deals. Eventually, the truth about his schemes came to light, subjecting Samantha Fox to public embarrassment and tarnishing her reputation. Fans were baffled. Why would she get entangled with a con artist deemed a wolf in sheep's clothing? Yet love can be irrational, even for a global celebrity. The upside? Samantha bravely extricated herself from the relationship, proving that while she may have been momentarily blinded by affection, she wasn't about to let one bad choice define her. It remains one of the darker chapters in her personal life, a reminder that no matter how famous or successful, we can all stumble when it comes to love. 6. She rejected his marriage proposal without explanation. After their tumultuous relationship, Peter Foster proposed to Samantha Fox, a moment that shook the tabloids. Everyone waited to see if she'd tie her future to a well-known con artist. Shockingly, she gave an unequivocal no, offering no further explanation. Speculation ran wild. Some thought she'd finally woken up, others suspected she'd uncovered new financial scandals, and still others claimed she was coming to terms with her true sexuality. Samantha's silence was a powerful statement. I want no further part of this. Many fans breathed a sigh of relief, fearing her career would go down in flames if she stayed with Foster. Others were critical. If she knew all along, why continue the relationship in the first place? Those questions floated around, but Samantha refused to engage in back-and-forth discussions or clarifications. It seemed she wanted to end that chapter quietly, free from media sensationalism. Interestingly, this timeline coincided with rising rumors about her relationship with her manager, Myra Stratton. Some believe that rejecting Foster's proposal was tied to acknowledging her true self. Or maybe she finally saw through his lies. Regardless, her refusal to explain made the breakup a hot topic in the press, but it also put the power back in her hands. By walking away from a public engagement without any fuss, Samantha Fox signaled the end of her wide-eyed innocence. From this point on, she displayed a stronger, more self-possessed image. Sure, the tabloids had a field day with the silent breakup, but in the end, Samantha kept her autonomy, making it crystal clear she wouldn't let a con man steer her life. 7. Her own father stole millions from her, and she never forgave him. In show business, it's common for an artist's family to handle their finances, trusting blood relations over outsiders. Samantha Fox was no exception. She entrusted her earnings, contracts, and assets to her father, Patrick Fox. Tragically, it turned out he was siphoning her fortune all along. Over £1 million vanished from her accounts. When the truth broke, Samantha was devastated. It wasn't just financial loss, it was a painful betrayal by someone who should have been her protector. Imagine discovering your own father, the man who should put you first, had instead stabbed you in the back. Samantha took him to court and won, but the emotional wounds ran so deep she declared she'd never speak to him again. Fans were stunned and sympathized with this young star, whose family fell apart over money. Some sources claim Patrick Fox squandered her money on extravagances or failed investments, while others say he built a cushy lifestyle using her name but couldn't maintain it and resorted to stealing from her accounts. Whatever the finer details, Samantha lost all faith in the one person she assumed would always have her best interests at heart. When he passed away in 2000, Samantha held firm, there was no reconciliation. Some have criticized her hardness, but many understand that once trust is shattered so profoundly, forgiveness doesn't come easy. Already rocked by numerous crises in her career, Samantha faced yet another heartbreak within her own family. This undoubtedly influenced her later approach to business and privacy. The cautionary tale: sometimes, blind trust can be your biggest vulnerability. Tragically, even your own flesh and blood might let you down. 8. She feared coming out because of her stalkers. In the 80s and 90s, being openly LGBTQ+ in the entertainment industry was fraught with risks. Samantha Fox faced those dangers on steroids, being perceived as a sex symbol for men. Rumors swirled that she was romantically involved with her manager, Myra Stratton. But considering her terrifying run-ins with obsessive male fans, she had every reason to tread lightly about coming out. Imagine dealing with stalkers who break into your home, send death threats, or even attempt suicide outside your door. Now factor in the possibility that these men might become violently enraged if they discovered you'd never be interested in them romantically. Samantha's fears were well-founded. In the minds of deranged fans, reality can twist, fueling unpredictable reactions. Also, the entertainment industry itself wasn't exactly supportive at the time. Record labels, TV producers, and managers worried that if she confirmed she wasn't straight, she might lose her massive male fan base. For Samantha, capitalizing on her alluring Fox persona was crucial to sustaining her career. Publicly acknowledging her sexuality threatened her livelihoods, modeling gigs, music sales, global endorsements. Eventually, however, she chose to live openly. Over time, Samantha and Myra Stratton's relationship became more visible, moving from quiet rumor to recognized partnership. Fans celebrated her courage, and she emerged as an inspiration for many in the LGBTQ+ community. But getting there wasn't easy. She had to overcome the legitimate fear of stalkers and the terror of being labeled unmarketable by the industry. This highlights how fame can be both a golden ticket and a suffocating trap, making it agonizing to live authentically under a perpetual public microscope. 9. She married her tour manager in a Eurovision-themed wedding. They say after weathering enough storms, you might just find your rainbow. For Samantha Fox, that moment came in 2022 when she married Linda Birgit Olsen, her tour manager. True to Samantha's flair for drama, their wedding had a Eurovision theme, an exuberant nod to Europe's most flamboyant song competition. Why Eurovision? Samantha had a special connection to this event. She once competed to represent the UK, though unsuccessfully, and it left a lasting impression, part musical dream, part unfinished business. At her wedding, she recreated Eurovision's energetic, multicultural vibe, celebrating love and unity through glorious color and sound. The ceremony itself struck a balance between cozy intimacy and dazzling spectacle. Guests were invited to dress boldly, think glittering sequins, oversized hats, and eye-popping accessories, matching Eurovision's electric spirit. The music was a melting pot of iconic Eurovision hits, Samantha's own pop tracks, and Linda's favorite tunes. Together, they fashioned a party that shimmered with creativity and joy, culminating in an unforgettable night. Beneath the glitter, fans recognized the weight of this moment. Samantha Fox had finally found her person, after years of heartbreak and rumor. People cheered her bravery in openly celebrating a same-sex relationship within an industry still wrestling with prejudice. The wedding was more than a celebration of love, it was a personal victory over the ghosts of her past and the skepticism of naysayers. Her story reflects the mantra, be who you are, love who you love, a triumph of authenticity and joy that resonates far beyond the tabloids. 10. She was one of the most photographed women of the 1980s. The 1980s were a heyday of tabloid mania, glitzy magazines, and relentless promotional campaigns. And Samantha Fox, armed with a stunning face, shapely figure, and standout personality, quickly became the media's darling. She was photographed non-stop, appearing on countless magazine covers, newspapers, and billboard ads. Some folks claimed her visibility rivaled that of Princess Diana and Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, two of the most recognizable British women of the era. So what made Samantha Fox such a paparazzi magnet? First off, she exuded a rare mix of sensuality and confidence from a very young age. Second, her page 3 girl status in The Sun elevated her from an unknown teenager to a national sensation virtually overnight. Third, she wasn't just a model, her music career soared, making her a double threat whose appeal spanned multiple audiences. Being everywhere at once turned her into a cultural icon. She graced men's magazine covers, topped music charts, and showed up on talk shows. Samantha was ubiquitous. Yet that constant exposure invited a level of scrutiny that was suffocating at times. Headlines sprang up whenever she changed her hairstyle or stepped out with a new acquaintance. Moreover, being photographed that often meant the paparazzi hunted her relentlessly. Everyday moments, from errands to vacations, could be captured and sold to tabloids for huge sums. While that brought in more fame and fortune, Samantha admitted it sometimes felt overwhelming. Yet, looking back, it was precisely this period of intense publicity that cemented her status in British pop culture. Even decades later, her name still triggers fond nostalgia, representing a spark of glamour and rebellious fun from that unforgettable era. 11. She insured her breasts for £1 million. As a page 3 model and pop star, Samantha Fox's body was quite literally her business, particularly her famous bust. Like many celebrities who insure specific body parts, Samantha took out a policy on her chest for the staggering sum of £1 million. The revelation made headlines, raising some eyebrows and plenty of curiosity. On one hand, people were astonished. £1 million in the 80s and 90s was monumental, enough to buy multiple luxury homes. On the other hand, skeptics accused her of orchestrating a publicity stunt, asking, are they really worth that much? But from a business standpoint, it made sense. Her breasts were part of her brand, featured in photo shoots, music videos, and promotional appearances. If anything were to happen that altered her figure, she could lose lucrative endorsements and performance deals. This move also highlights how the entertainment industry places a dollar value on female anatomy. She wasn't alone. Many actresses and models have insured their legs, hands, or even their smiles. The takeaway: image is a precious commodity, and insuring it is an extreme but not unheard of strategy. For Samantha, a £1 million insurance plan allowed her to rest easier, knowing a safety net existed if misfortune struck. Still, insuring her breasts further typecast her as a sex symbol, overshadowing her musical chops. Yet it was a conscious trade-off. Samantha Fox understood her market appeal and cashed in, arguably thriving because of it. In the end, whether you view it as savvy or superficial, it underscored her business acumen in a high-stakes, looks-driven industry. 12. She was nominated for a Brit Award. Anyone dismissing Samantha Fox as just a pin-up model or page 3 girl might be surprised to learn she was once a genuine contender in the UK's most esteemed music awards. In 1988, Samantha scored a Brit Award nomination for Best British Female Solo Artist. That's no small feat, considering the Brits typically honor artists with significant musical achievements. By then, Samantha had already released a string of dance pop hits, such as Touch Me, I Want Your Body, and Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now, that resonated widely. The late 80s were all about catchy beats and big hair, and Samantha thrived in that environment, bridging her sultry image with upbeat pop tunes. Chart success was swift, stretching beyond the UK to international audiences. Her Brit Award nod validated her artistry and tore down the lazy assumption she was just a pretty face. Although she didn't take home the prize, being listed among notable UK singers elevated her status. Suddenly, the public and critics alike had to acknowledge her musical effort, not just her tabloid presence. Following the nomination, Samantha continued to release more tracks and albums, proving her versatility within showbiz. She certainly had ups and downs, but the late 80s remain her golden era, and the Brit Award nomination was a high point. It's a testament that her voice, stage presence, and knack for a good pop hook were pivotal to her enduring popularity, beyond the provocative headlines. 13. She competed to represent the UK at Eurovision. If you thought Samantha Fox only stuck to churning out pop albums and doing mainstream shows, think again. In 1995, she tried to become the official UK entry for the Eurovision Song Contest, Europe's most outrageous and revered music competition. Her track Go for the Heart drew buzz, but she ultimately placed fourth in the national selection. Still, her determination to conquer Eurovision showcased her unrelenting passion for music and her willingness to prove herself on a grand stage. At the time, Samantha was already known for her racy image, while Eurovision had a strong reputation for theatrical performances and diverse music styles. Entering meant risking that people might not take her seriously. But she wanted to break barriers, shifting focus from her sex symbol status to her vocal talent. Some wondered whether it was a rebranding strategy, a bid to distance herself from her lingerie model roots. Whatever the motive, her decision sparked excitement and intense curiosity. Fans were disappointed she didn't secure the top spot, believing her stage experience and distinctive voice could have done well at Eurovision. Although Samantha missed out, her Eurovision attempt became part of her memorable legacy. It demonstrated her appetite for new challenges and her refusal to remain boxed into one image. Decades later, fans still recall her near run at Eurovision, and she would eventually celebrate her love for the contest in a whole new way by incorporating it into her 2022 wedding. In a sense, it's a full-circle moment, a sign of how Samantha Fox's life and career have been shaped by fearless leaps and boundless ambition. 14. She appeared in a Bollywood film. Few would guess that a Western sex symbol like Samantha Fox would venture into Bollywood. But in 1995, she did exactly that, featuring in the Hindi-language film Rock Dancer, alongside Indian superstar Govinda. It was a cameo, yet it displayed her daring versatility, as she adapted to an industry that's culturally, linguistically, and stylistically worlds apart from what she was used to. Back then, Bollywood was rapidly expanding its global footprint. Securing a Western celebrity's cameo was a clever way to attract international media buzz, and Samantha Fox fit the bill. She, on the other hand, embraced the chance to explore Indian culture, vibrant, colorful, and brimming with music and dance. Despite not being an experienced actress, her worldwide fame brought substantial attention to Rock Dancer. Shooting in India forced her to handle sweltering heat, hectic shooting schedules, and the famously dramatic flair of Bollywood storytelling. She even performed in song and dance sequences, an absolute must in Hindi cinema. While her role was brief, her presence stirred talk and added to the film's novelty factor. For Samantha's career, dabbling in Bollywood showed she wasn't content to remain in a comfort zone. She'd already mastered modeling, singing, and entertaining Western audiences. Why not try Indian cinema? Sure, Rock Dancer wasn't a major blockbuster, but it broadened her artistic resume and opened her up to a new fanbase in Asia. The bold move also earned respect from fans worldwide who admired her spirit of adventure and willingness to bridge cultural gaps. 15. She faced legal trouble over her in-flight behavior. In 2023, Samantha Fox landed front-page headlines again, not for a new album or a hot tour, but for being arrested on a flight from London to Munich. She was allegedly drunk and disorderly, which rocked fans who'd believed she had long since retired from public controversy. Reports from fellow passengers claimed she was intoxicated and got into an argument with flight attendants. Tensions escalated when staff asked her to calm down and follow safety regulations, but instead of complying, she grew more agitated. Upon landing in Munich, police were waiting to detain her. The incident set social media ablaze with polarized reactions. How could a seasoned entertainer act so recklessly, or maybe she's under immense stress? Samantha publicly apologized soon after, admitting she was going through a rough psychological patch. She pledged full cooperation with authorities and accepted responsibility for her outburst. Ultimately, she paid a fine and enrolled in a behavior management program to prevent future flare-ups. Celebrity meltdowns on planes aren't unheard of, but this case stood out because Samantha had been largely scandal-free in her later years. It was a stark reminder that no matter how old your fame is, you're still in the public eye, and any misstep can explode into a media spectacle. Perhaps it served as a wake-up call, for Samantha herself, and for other celebrities, to remain mindful of the scrutiny that follows them. After all, even if you've distanced yourself from the limelight, your name and reputation still carry weight, and one moment of weakness can overshadow years of otherwise peaceful living. 16. She tragically lost her younger sister in 2023. 2023 was doubly hard for Samantha Fox. Alongside the embarrassing airline incident, she endured the devastating loss of her younger sister, Vanessa Fox, who passed away suddenly at age 50. Little information was shared regarding the cause of death, but this family tragedy left a profound void in Samantha's life. Losing a family member is always a crushing blow, but for Samantha, who had already weathered considerable family turmoil, like her father stealing her fortune, and multiple brushes with life and death drama, her sister's passing was a new level of heartbreak. Samantha has spoken about how important her sibling was in offering emotional grounding, especially as her career soared and controversies piled up. Fans and media outlets offered condolences, and social media lit up with messages of sympathy. Samantha, meanwhile, chose to keep her grief mostly private. She withdrew from several public commitments to arrange her sister's affairs and seek space to heal. The story of Samantha and Vanessa is a stark reminder: no matter how famous or wealthy you are, tragedy can strike with the same raw pain it does anyone else. Media gossip or fans' speculation fade into irrelevance in the face of genuine human loss. In that moment, all the awards, money, and spotlight become meaningless. All that remains is love and memories of the one who has passed. Hopefully, Samantha finds strength and solace moving forward, carrying her sister's memory through her music and her continued contributions to the entertainment world. 17. She started performing at just 3 years old. Samantha Fox's career didn't really begin at 16 with her notorious Page 3 modeling. The truth is, she was a born entertainer who first took the stage at the tender age of 3. Even as a toddler, she showed a flair for performing, acting in small theater roles, singing, and dancing with other kids. Her childhood was packed with rehearsals, acting classes, dance lessons, vocal training. Her mother, though controversial in later years, was the first to notice Samantha's natural talents and made sure she got every opportunity to hone them. By the time Samantha was old enough to pick a career path, she was already no stranger to bright lights and big crowds. People who think Samantha's stardom happened overnight might be surprised. Having stage experience so young meant she knew how to handle nerves, commands from directors, and the constant hustle of showbiz by the time she was in her teens. This background also gave her the poise and stage presence that translated beautifully when she switched to music in the 80s. Of course, there's a downside to starting so early, the risk of losing a normal childhood and facing adult pressures while still growing up. But it also forged her resilience. So when fame soared, and controversies and scandals came knocking, Samantha leaned on those early years of experience, navigating the tabloids, legal issues, and professional pitfalls with a remarkable sense of composure. Ultimately, behind the glitz, there remains that wide-eyed 3-year-old whose love for performing never really changed. 18. She became a successful pop star at just 16. Samantha Fox's teenage success story is nearly unmatched. At just 16, she put out her debut single and quickly gained momentum in a pop market that was fiercely competitive. While most teens her age worried about exams and weekend plans, Samantha was stepping under the stage lights, signing record deals, and making waves in the music biz. How did she do it? Partly thanks to a sweet yet powerful voice and her fearless stage presence. Partly because the mid to late 80s saw a boom in dance pop, and Samantha delivered the kind of catchy, upbeat hooks people couldn't get enough of. On top of that, she was used to performing from a young age, so dealing with cameras and big crowds felt natural rather than daunting. This early breakout catapulted her into teenage stardom, netting hordes of fans, especially among the youth. Magazines scrambled to interview her, feature her in stylish photo shoots, and brand her as everyone's favorite it girl. Her 1986 hit Touch Me, I Want Your Body skyrocketed internationally, establishing her as more than just a UK phenomenon. However, early fame wasn't without its shadows. Samantha was swamped with hectic schedules, studio sessions, photo ops, video shoots, while most peers her age enjoyed carefree school days. She was also subjected to rumor mills, jealous rivals, and intense public scrutiny. Still, she soldiered on, and by leveraging her talent and tenacity, she proved she was more than a fleeting sensation. Her story exemplifies both the triumphs and the trials of teenage stardom, a blend of exhilarating highs and personal sacrifices she navigated with remarkable grit. 19. She holds black belts in karate and kung fu. While Samantha Fox is often remembered for her glamorous looks, she also has a secret weapon. She's a black belt in both karate and kung fu. In the 80s Western entertainment scene, it wasn't common for female celebrities to be avid martial artists. This passion underlined her athleticism and her eagerness to challenge the delicate female stereotype. Samantha has mentioned taking up martial arts as a way to stay fit and mentally strong. But it also became a practical measure of self-protection, given the very real hazards of show business, stalkers, unwanted advances, potentially risky on-stage moments. Knowing how to throw a kick or a punch gave her added peace of mind. Some jokingly say that if her security guards ever dropped the ball, Samantha could handle intruders on her own. This training likely spilled over into her stage routines, too. Her crisp, dynamic moves and fearless presence might owe something to her karate and kung fu background. Plus, it kept her in fantastic shape for performing concerts, which require stamina, agility, and confidence. Fans were blown away when they discovered that the sex symbol also possessed serious martial arts chops. It clashed with the typical soft, seductive persona she portrayed in photo shoots, making her image all the more intriguing. Samantha isn't just a pretty face, she's a fusion of strength and sensuality, exemplifying self-reliance in a fiercely competitive, sometimes predatory industry. That's the ultimate curveball few stars of her era could boast. 20. She was a professional wrestling manager. Closing out our list of Samantha Fox shockers, we must mention her stint in pro wrestling. Yes, she once served as a wrestling manager. Sounds wild, right? But indeed, she stepped into the wrestling ring, not as a combatant, but as a manager, hyping up crowds and spicing up already dramatic matches. In professional wrestling, a manager isn't just someone who organizes fights. They often become part of the theatrical spectacle, playing roles like cheerleader, strategist, or even instigator in storylines. Samantha, armed with her star power and stage flair, drew bigger audiences to these events. She'd rile up the fans, deliver riveting promos, and occasionally stage comedic or dramatic confrontations that cranked up the entertainment value. People wondered why a pop singer and pin-up icon would dabble in wrestling. Perhaps it was the thrill. Samantha has always liked trying new things. Her background in martial arts also made her comfortable in a physical entertainment environment, and who knows, maybe she offered some pro tips to the wrestlers themselves. Although her time in wrestling didn't last long, it left an impression on fans who saw her pivot seamlessly into yet another form of showbiz. This foray into wrestling underscores her extraordinary versatility. From Bollywood cameo appearances to chart-topping hits, from page 3 modeling to wrestling manager, Samantha Fox seemed game for anything. That spirit of fearlessness is exactly why she remains a significant figure in pop culture decades later. She refused to be pigeonholed, always ready to explore a new angle on fame and fun, an iconic performer unafraid to break down walls. Samantha Fox's life has been nothing short of extraordinary. From skyrocketing to fame as a teenager to dealing with con artists, betrayals, and obsessive fans, she has faced both the highs and lows of celebrity life. Whether it was her controversial modeling career, her struggles with stalkers, or her personal revelations, Samantha has remained a fascinating and resilient figure. Which of these bizarre facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into the lives of the world's most intriguing stars. See you in the next video.